Professor Dr. S. Gauri is the Director of EMRC of UGC and also Professor in the Department of Manufacturing Engineering, Anna University. He is the recipient of the National Award for Outstanding Academic 2011, honored by the Indian Society of Technical Education, New Delhi in 2012. He has previously been the Registrar of Anna University of Technology, Chennai. He received BE in Mechanical Engineering from Tyagarajar College of Engineering, Madurai, MTech in Production Engineering, and PhD in Precision Machining in IIT Madras. He was awarded for his PG work, project work in IIT Madras. His main areas of interest are technical education system development, precision machining, rapid prototyping, FEA, biomedical engineering, medical image analysis, and shape memory alloys. He is a life member of ISTE, AMM, and SME of USA. He has been awarded with fellowships of research work done in surface engineering by NSF USA in 1992 and by NSTB Singapore in 1997 to 1999. He is a visiting faculty in India and abroad in many colleges and universities, including Nanyang Technological University, Singapore, Technical University, Weingarten, Stuttgart, Germany, and taught nanotechnology. He has traveled many countries, including Germany, UK, USA, Netherlands, Singapore, Spain, Switzerland, Malaysia, Brunei, and Australia for his academic works. In addition, he got international travel fellowships from UGC, AICTE, CSIR, and DST. He has successfully completed several projects in India and abroad. He has offered technical consultations in India and abroad to MNCs such as Sony of Japan, Pratt & Whitney of USA, GE of Singapore, iGel of Australia, and also to Railways Coach Factory, Chennai. He was a member of the Technical Expert Committee selected by DST to participate in the Indo-UK Manufacturing Engineering Colloquium held in January 2012. He headed the International Joint Project on Virtual Laboratories on Mechatronics, a real-time web-based project with partners from Julius Maximilian University, Würzburg, Germany, and the University of Madrid, Spain in 2005. He is holding an international patent for the work done in micromachining during his tenure in Singapore. He is a member and director of several Tamil Nadu government advisory boards.
In this lecture, we will understand about game theory, decision-making problems, two-person zero-sum game, what are pure strategy and mixed strategy, what is saddle point, and what is probabilistic playing.
Next, go to the portion called game theory. This is also coming under linear programming, because this method, the problem can be solved by linear programming, either simplex or graphical, or by arithmetical also. This is known as game theory or theory of games. The game theory, lot of assumptions are made. It is not like any game as you think. It is just like your head or tail. Head or tail we sometimes play. Head or tail, two players will be there. Then there is one coin, throw, then you say head or you say tail, whatever comes, then the fellow who said the right one, he may get the coin or he may get the point, like that. The fellow who has not said the right one may have to pay, or he may get 0, like that. So, when I say this head or tail, when there are two players like him or like him and her, and they are called players, and he can say either head or tail, or she can say either head or tail, and that is called the course of action, and that is called strategy. Strategy. So, they have two strategies, one is head, one is tail, they can select, and both of them should reveal their choice or the strategy what they have selected simultaneously. they are called the intelligent players, something like that. She should not wait until he says, or he should not wait until she says. As 1, 2, 3, suddenly they should open the mouth and say. That is called rational players. More than intelligent, they are called rational players. That is another assumption. No chance for others for guessing like that. But if I say head, if she says tail, what I will get? If I say tail or she says head, what I will get or what she will get, that is known, and that is called outcome of the game, or called payoff. Payoff. What you get, that is called payoff. So, when you put the payoff for head and tail form sort of a matrix, that is called payoff matrix. Payoff matrix. I do not solve this, just I will put a table like that. What is her name? Satyanarayan. Okay. Satyanarayan is known as his. What is her name? BA, what is her name? Divya, no? Or Priya, what is her name? Yeah, okay, D. And they have the two choices like head or tail. She also has head or tail, like this. If both of them said head, 0. If both of them said tail, 0. If he says head and she says tail, he gets 1. If she says head and he says tail, he gets -1, like this. Please note, there are two players, Satyanarayan and Divya, and they have the two strategies. They can say either head or tail, and these are the payoff, and this is called payoff matrix for S payoff. S payoff, that means what Satyanarayan will get. If both of them said head, Satyanarayan will not get anything, 0, and she also does not get anything. If both of them says tail, this is just like a payoff value, it can be changed, and this is a given data, nothing will be there. If Satyanarayan says head and Divya says tail, Satyanarayan gets 1, and he says tail and she says head, he will get -1. That means, who will get the +1? She gets a +1. So, we cannot represent what he gets, what he loses like that, but he will represent everything for one single player, S player, Satyanarayana, and whatever is presented, plus is a gain to him, minus is a loss to him. When that is a gain to him, that is a loss to the player. When there is a loss to him, that is a gain to the player, that we can understand. And this is S payoff. And these are the given data. Before the game is played, this data is given to them. So, both of them see that what is the best one I can say, whether I will get always 1 or will always lose 1, and if I with the chance of losing, he will look for whether I will not lose anything at all, whether I gain or not, I should not lose. Then if it is something such just like a draw 0-0, then they will go for that. So, for that this payoff matrix is given to them, and this is always for the row player. Since we know Satyanarayan and Divya, I put S and D, otherwise in mathematical they will called as A, this is B, that is called A, player A and player B, and always this represent, the payoff represents A's payoff, this is called A's payoff matrix, and it goes to him. This is a 2 into 2 matrix, we may easily solve it. If it is a 3 into 3 matrix or it is a 3 into 5 matrix, a large one, there are some set of rules to be followed, and according to that only we should do that. And what A gets is a loss to B, what A loses, it is gain to B, and the net is 0. What he gets from her, what she gets from him, sum up 0. That is why this game is called zero sum game. What he gets plus what she gets will get at 0. That should be non-zero sum game. We do not play here at all. That is the assumption. And lot of theorems behind it. One was a theorem called Nash equilibrium. Nash equilibrium. It is called John Nash. John Nash, who got that Nobel Award for mathematics and economics. He is still in Princeton University, and he developed an equilibrium called Nash equilibrium. What is the speciality of him? Any speciality, anything interesting? Yes? Yeah. Somebody said? I think we might have beginning, we might have discussed something. He had a sort of a psychotic disorder in the beginning, early days called schizophrenia, and he could overcome. Then finally, he achieved a lot of things, he got it. And Nash equilibrium is that once they identify the best strategies for them, they will not move out of that. There the two players will be try to be in equilibrium. Lot of theorems are here. One such theorem is Nash equilibrium. The players will be going to the equilibrium state, and they will always choose that particular course of action, and that we have to find out. So, that is a game theory of games. Here the strategies, I put head and tail like that are strategies. Sometimes the strategies can be pure strategies. Pure strategy means always he will select head and she will select head, or always he will select tail, always he will select tail, like that. Or any number of times they play, that is called, they will take only that particular strategy called pure strategy. But sometimes the problems can have non-pure strategy, do not say it is the impure strategy, that is called mixed strategy. Mixed strategy means sometimes if they play the games for 10 times, 5 times here, 5 times here, or 3 times here, 7 times here, like that. But still that proportionality, the probability will remain same. That is again sort of an equilibrium. So, the game can be have a mixed strategy or pure strategy based on the outcomes, how the rational player will select. So, like that we can discuss on some more properties about this game theory or theory of games, then we proceed to find out that. And here there are a lot of techniques available. Simplest is algebraic technique, and sometimes by simultaneous equation, or we can go for linear programming as a sort of graphical technique or simplex technique also, by which we can solve the problems. We will see you in the next class. Good morning. In continuation of the last class introduction about the game theory, let us go further into the theory of games or game theory, and what are the concepts and what are its applications. As we discussed, this is a 2-person zero sum game. That means only 2 players are there, and the players may be 2 single or 2 individuals, or it may be 2 parties, or it may be 2 groups, or 2 agencies, or 2 companies, like that. But still we say it is a 2-person zero sum game. Why is it called zero sum? The gain to one player is a loss to another player. So, when you sum up, it will become 0, that is called zero sum game. So, only such games are considered here, and both the 2 players are rational players, and they know if they select a particular strategy or particular course of action, what will be the outcome. The outcome may be beneficial to him or beneficial to the opponent, but they have to necessarily select a strategy if there is a pure strategy existing. As they are rational players and their outcomes are known, they will come to an equilibrium. That means, they will always select the particular course of action if there is a pure strategy, and that means a sort of an equilibrium existing, and that equilibrium state is called Nash equilibrium. And as Nash equilibrium says, there is always one fixed strategy for each player, for any number of times they play, they select always that strategy, because that is the best outcome for him or for her. And if such a single strategy is selected always, that is called pure strategy, and the outcome what we get is called the saddle point. That means, when they select a particular course of action, both the players, and that point at which they meet, that is called saddle point. But not all the games will have such a pure strategy. Sometimes they have to go for probability or mixed strategies. Even at the time of mixed strategies, they follow certain set of rules, and with a fixed probability they play the game, or they select the strategies with some fixed probabilities. If the probability is 1, that is a pure strategy. If the probability is less than 1, then it become a mixed strategy, and this is by the Nash equilibrium. And more than that, let us have some discussion about some case studies or problems, then we will have a better understanding. Now, as an application point of view, let us consider a well known famous prisoner's dilemma. The dilemma for the prisoner whether to confess or not confess. Two convicts or suspects arrested for a crime, and they have to decide whether to confess or not to confess, and they know what will be the result of that. That means, if both confess, both will be sentenced to 3 months of jail. If both do not confess, then both will be sentenced to 1 month of jail. If one confesses and the other does not, then the confessor gets freed, 0 months of jail immediately, and the non-confessor will be sentenced to 9 months of jail. What should each prisoner do? That is a question. So, when we read this, apparently what will you think? Both should not confess. And let us see how this can be put in a matrix. And similarly, the other one, a couple deciding how to spend the evening. Wife would like to go for a movie, husband would like to go for a cricket match. Both, however, want to spend the time together, and what will be the scope for the strategic interaction. Now, the two cases what we discussed can be mathematically represented. One is a prisoner's dilemma. If both of them confesses, -3, that means both of them will get 3 months of imprisonment. If prisoner 1 confesses and the prisoner 2 does not confess, and what will the prisoner 1 get is he is freed, whereas the prisoner 2 will be punished 9 months of jail. Similarly, if prisoner 2 confesses, he will be freed. At the same time, if prisoner 1 confesses, he will be imprisoned for 9 months. If both of them do not confess, both of them will be imprisoned for 1 month. Okay. This is the outcome. This is given to the prisoners. This outcome is given to the prisoners. Now, prisoner 1, prisoner 2 will have to make a choice. How will they choose? See, this is not a sequential play. Simultaneously, they have to open the mouth and say confess. No, I do not confess, like that. Just like 1, 2, 3. When I say 3, they should say like that. The prisoner 1 thinks, if I confess and in case he confesses, I will get 3 and he will also get 3 months. If I confess and if he does not confess, I will be freed, but he will be in a dilemma whether the prisoner 2 will confess or not confess, or in case if he select confess and he also select confess, it is okay, but he does not know whether he will not confess. Similarly, when you come to the second strategy, if I do not confess, I will get 9, but if that fellow confesses, he will be free, only I will be imprisoned. And if I do not confess and if he also does not confess, both of them will get, but he will be worried, if I do not confess, in case that fellow confesses, I am the loser. The same decision can be analyzed for the prisoner 2 also, he will confess or not confess. and if I do not confess, what will happen? If the prisoner confesses, I will be losing. So, what is the guarantee that he will not confess? So, from this apparently what we can do or what we can come to the decision is, if prisoner 1 confesses and prisoner 2 confesses, and both of them will get 3 months of imprisonment. They will select always these two, this is the one, and this can be, of course, logically we argued, this can be mathematically represented still further way, and we can solve the problem. This is the one. Similarly, here the movie wife and husband, if both of them go to the movie, what the wife will get 2 or what the husband will get, of course, the outcome is not given here, the mathematical note is not described. And if the wife selects movie, but the husband goes for cricket, she will not accept, both of them cannot go together. So, both of them should go together. So, this becomes 0 0. Now, we have to select whether to go for a movie or whether to go for a cricket. Now, I leave it to you for the logical discussion, we will come to this. Each player's predicted strategy is the best response to the predicted strategies of the other players. So, that is a Nash equilibrium. What one player has predicted as the best response to the predicted strategy of the other players. No incentive to deviate unilaterally, no one will get extra, he will not allow others, that is no incentive. Strategically stable or self enforcing, that is called saddle point. So, here prisoner 1 confesses, prisoner 2 confesses, this is a 1, both of them get it. So, final one is -3, both of them will confess and escape with the or have the punishment of 3 months jail. If he selects first strategy, if he select the second strategy, and he will be in a dilemma, he will be getting the benefit and this fellow will be losing that benefit, 9 months punishment. So, he will not go for that. Similarly, he will not go for that because his prediction will not favor him. So, the best prediction is both confess, accept 3 months imprisonment, but this can be, as I told you, mathematically solved. The next one, there may be some probability, a probable distribution over the pure strategies of the game, that is also exist. And some other games like rock, paper, scissors, just we discussed, each player simultaneously forms his or hand into the shape of either a rock or a piece of paper, and they have to make the outcome for that, like rock beats scissors, that means scissors can be blunt by rock, or scissors can cut the paper, or paper can be covered by the rock, like that, which is dominating, according to that some outcomes should be given. So, at that time there may not be pure strategy, we go for mixed strategy. Each player will play rock, paper, scissors with almost probability of 1/3. When we mathematically solve, we will come to this solution. So, what Nash theorem says is, any finite game will have at least one Nash equilibrium possibly involving mixed strategies, and if the probability is 1, that is a saddle point. Finding a Nash equilibrium is not easy, and in theory of games sometimes there can be sequential moves also. One player moves and the second player observes and then moves, but what is according to us is only a simultaneous play. And where such problems appear is in industrial organizations, a new entering firm in the market versus an incumbent firm, a leader follow a game in quantity competition. They will follow what the existing companies followed, according to that he will select this, or the company will select the strategy. Sometimes sequential bargaining game, two players bargain over the division of a pie of size 1, this is another type of one, or sometimes game tree like this. This is sequential problems where once you select the best strategy and that is followed, and the next player takes that one and he goes to the best one, like that, there is a sequential game theory like that. And this is also applicable in industries containing only very few firms producing similar products, or study of cartels, or study of externalities using a common resource such as fishery or something, or study of military strategies bombing the opponent's army base, or the study of international negotiations or bargaining, or even elections, public elections, politics, it can be used for that, because always two major parties as far as many countries including India, major will be only 2 parties, and how they can select the candidates from the previous history. If I place this, if I nominate the particular candidate in that region, what is the expected gain? If I put some other one, what may be the expected loss, something like that. That can be analyzed by this game theory. Sometimes for auctions, like buyers simultaneously submit their bids, buyers valuations are the good unknown to each other, that is mostly happening everywhere. Highest bidder wins and gets a good at the amount he bid. So, each person would bid less than what the good is worth to you, that is natural one, with the expectation that he will be able to get that bid. So, that follows a Nash equilibrium. Similar rules like winner pays, and suppose you want to value an item at 100, you should bid for 100. The item, if you bid 90 or if you bid 110, what will be losing, what will be getting, like this. Someone bids more than 100, you lose anyway. Someone bids less than 90, you win, but you get less profit. Or if you bid for 110, what will be the outcome? Someone bids more than 110, you lose anyway. So, of course, these are some applications, but not pertaining to our syllabus. So, how to set up a game to achieve a certain outcome? Structure of the game is essential. The structure of the game is a sort of a matrix, and that can be rectangular or square. Mostly it is square always, sometimes it can be rectangular games also, and there should be payoffs, that is outcomes, what each player will get or each player will lose, and players may have private information about that outcomes. Example, to design an efficient trade, an item is sold only when buyer's values is at least as seller's values.
Let me summarize that the game theory is an extension of linear programming problem to make optimal decision by following suitable strategies in competitive situations. This is limited to 2 players, and the sum of the games or what they get finally is 0. So, that is called 2-person zero sum game. At the end, again let me ask you few questions. Question number 1, what is meant by strategy? What is saddle point? Why is it called saddle? In case of mixed strategies, how will be able to arrive at the optimal solution?